if a company is owned by the state, then the company has no real interest to be run efficiently because they're not really competing in a proper market.
In which case, can I hand over to Councillor Morrall for his question?
Thank you, Chair, and thank you to the leader for arriving to committee today, and thank you to Chris as well for joining us. Back in July, you might remember at council, I raised a question about procurement, in particular about a centre in my ward that was being charged 7 times the cost for maintenance. You said at the time that you were going to take a look into this as a matter of urgency, and I've noticed here in the document, it says, following the year of budget restrictions and limited investments, many of the council's operational assets are in poor condition. The council's strategy is to address this as key and should link into its capital plan. So there isn't really anything in this document that talks about procurement. So I'd like an update on what work has been done behind the scenes on that. And also, a word that gets bandied around a lot on this is the company Civico, which is, having done a bit of research on this, is a council-owned asset. There are councillors on the board of directors of it, and it would appear that there's been a long history of this particular firm doing the maintenance for council assets and charging extortionate rates. And I mean, I'd like some explanation really and some clarification. To me, on paper, it just sounds. Gotta be careful with my language, but it doesn't sound very good.
In relation to the question you asked, Councillor Morrall, at the council meeting back in July, if you've not received an answer to that, can I first of all apologise, and I will get that chased up. Usually there is a record kept of any questions that are asked of me that I don't answer or do not have the answer to in the council meeting, and then the member is written to with the answer. So if that has not happened, I will get that chased up. As far as the Civico is concerned, the Civico is a city council company. It's set up to do maintenance and capital repairs, primarily to city council buildings, but it operates as a technical company, so it can trade outside of the city council. When the company was set up, we entered a contractual arrangement whereby the city council's maintenance would be carried out by Civico. Where we are on the length of that contract, I don't know off the top of my head, but we can send you that information. And I don't really want to comment about your comment about extortionate rates. Thank you.
I will say very quickly, in relation to all the companies, the subsidiaries of the City Council that we operate, and the Civico in particular, I've never really thought it's practical for us to operate a commercially competitive business in competition with the private sector. And ever since I've been on the council, Civico has been struggling. I will also add that those of you who are directors on Civico as non-executive directors, in my view, should be properly remunerated as such. I think it's unrealistic to expect quality councillors with good business experience to perform a proper role as a non-executive director on a fairly substantial business like a Civico without it being, recognised by at least some level of remuneration.
I will just make a brief comment on the back of that, in economics they call it a moral hazard, don't they? Too big to fail. Just wanted to get that point in there, that if a company is owned by the state, then the company has no real interest to be run efficiently because they're not really competing in a proper market. But yeah, I completely agree with what Councillor Jenkins said, but thank you very much for letting me speak.
Just saying in response to that, I think we're probably at the political divide, aren't we, between Conservative and Labour?
Absolutely, I agree.
Thank you, Leader. So